Hey guys, Tim here from Droid Life, and today we're taking a peek at the BLU Life Pure XL. This device was recently announced within the last week and a half, and we had one surprisingly show up at our doors. So let's take a peek at it. This is BLU's probably 2014 main flagship. I'm thinking this one actually features specs that could go right alongside one of the flagships from Samsung or HTC even. Let's take a look at the specs real quick. Actually, first let's open up the box and then we'll talk specs when we're doing a tour of the outside here. So it comes in, let's see, try and get this enough for you. So it comes in a plastic wrapper of sorts, and we will pull it out of that. Oh, it shows off all the specs right on the front screen, so I guess I can't hold off the specs any longer. Let's talk about them. For powering the device, we have a Qualcomm Snapdragon 800 processor, clocked at 2.2 gigahertz, quad-core Snapdragon 800. The display is 5.5-inch Full HD, that's 1080p with Corning Gorilla Glass 3, a 16 megapixel rear-facing camera, and an 8 megapixel front-facing camera, which is pretty intense. This device features 32 gigabytes of internal memory and it has 3 gigs of RAM, so that's definitely something you don't see every day, at least in most flagship devices. I think there's 3 gigs in the Galaxy Note 3, 3 gigs in the Sony Xperia Z2, but even the Galaxy S5 doesn't have 3 gigs of RAM, so it's actually quite impressive. The device, unfortunately, does come running only Android 4.2 Jelly Bean, so that's sort of a bummer. It doesn't come with KitKat, although BLU does say that the device will be updated to KitKat sooner or later. And it shouldn't be that hard for them because BLU doesn't really skin their devices all too badly. So we just peel that off. Yeah, that is a very big black display right there. We're in black right now, but 5.5 inches. Here we'll power it on and then we'll do our little device look around real quickly. So while that's powering on, we'll take a look at the right side. We have a volume rocker on the right side with no other slots. On the bottom here we have dual speakers, micro USB, noise canceling microphone. On the left side here we have a slim slot. And this device doesn't do LTE, but it does do HSPA+. So if you're on T-Mobile or AT&T, you can pick up some quality speeds on there, but nothing other than that. Sorry, unfortunately. No LTE. On the back side here, we have that huge, what was that, 16 megapixel? Yeah, 16 megapixel rear-facing camera with LED flash. Another noise-canceling mic up there at the top. Let's go ahead and peel off all the stickers. That's one of our pain points. And then right there, just a very simple, nice and elegant BLU logo at the bottom. No other type of branding or anything. I gotta say, I appreciate BLU in their design, aesthetics, their language or whatever. I mean, they keep it very simple. It's a very clean, handsome looking device. It's quite slim. I don't have the specs on exactly how thin it is, but it is quite thin. However, it is quite tall and large. So real quickly, let's set that to the side. We'll go into what's in the box. We have a BLU Life Pure XL Quick Starter Guide, or User's Manual. We have a USB cord, a micro USB cable for charging, no less. I can't exactly tell you what this is. I will tell you that it is some type of suction. Oh yeah, it's definitely like a suction cup. Maybe this is an NFC tag. I'm thinking maybe that's what maybe it has to do with something about NFC. I don't know. I don't remember talking about that when writing up the announcement post, but I'll have to give it a look. Looks like we got some headphones here. Pretty quality, I'd say. I've never used the BLU headphones, but I'll have to give them a try. We have a pretty large adapter here. You stick that in there. I will say, that's like another thing. Like, I don't like how you have to stick it in and it takes up almost 2 spaces, say on a power thing, in your house or whatever. That takes up too much space. So, it also comes with a case. BLU thrown in a whole bunch of little accessories. Oh, look at here. NFC tags right here. So yes, the device is NFC compatible, capable, and they even throw in some free tags, which is quite nice of them. NFC tags. Here's your SIM removal tool. And a blue screen protector, because you're definitely going to want to protect that 5.5-inch display. That is also quite nice of them. Instruction guide, do not seal, some oxygen catching gel things. Anyways, here's the device right here. We have blue, oh, failed to update. Looks like maybe there's an update already available for it. Swipe up. Oh yes, there's blue's lovely squared skin. So again, quad-core processor, 3 gigs of RAM. I expect this thing to fly. Another thing that we should say is that it does not have on-screen buttons, which really would have sent this device over the top in mine, but unfortunately it's just capacitive, so right down here at the bottom you got your capacitive for settings, and a back button. Oh, it's kind of a neat little animated little pop-up. Very nice. So here's your home screen, and it's not the most lovely thing ever, but of course you can throw custom launchers on there. And to tell you the truth, I don't even think there's an app drawer. I think you just have all the apps start, you know, loading up onto the home screen, and then you can do little folders and whatnot. So let's take a peek at the settings real quick. Here's their system quick toggles and all that, but let's go into settings right here. Fail to update, please check your network. So yeah, maybe there is an update for it. You know, the settings menu overall is it's pretty plain and simplistic. I can admire it. They don't, you know, heavily theme it to where it's hard to find something, kind of like Samsung does, where there's just a million things scattered throughout different columns and categories. Here it's all just nicely laid out. So we'll go down here, yes, Android 4.2.2. I mean, I guess it's quite upsetting for me, seeing as how you would expect a flagship device in mid-2014 to come running the latest version of Android, and to have it not even come running Android 4.3. I would have to call it a kick in the teeth, but I might be overreacting. Regardless, this is the Blue Life Pure XL. If you guys have any questions, feel free to throw them in the comments below. We'll probably be using this for a little bit, but again, the lack of LTE, that's sort of like that's a big thing for me. I love having the LTE, the fast speeds when I'm out and about doing my thing on Instagram and Twitter and all that. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them down below. You should know that the device will launch, I believe it launched on May 2nd through Amazon, and you can get a 16 gig version that only has 2 gigs of RAM, which is only about $349, and then the 32 gig with 3 gigs of RAM is $399. So only $400, completely off contract and all that. You know, for some pretty good specs. It looks like a gorgeous display, 1080p, 5.5 inches. I will say the device is quite massive in my hands. I don't have the smallest hands, but this thing makes my hands feel really small. It's kind of like the OnePlus One. That device was also quite tall, rather thin and extremely thin, or kind of the width was short, but it was thin. And so either way, if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them below. I'm here to answer anything you got, so send them my way. Until then, we're Droid Life. Peace.